and welcome back to the channel. I'm the Novice Railway Modeller. Now we're building on episode 16 where we're doing the further re-engineering of this side of the fiddle yard. So this week I'll be recycling the rail aligners from the previous track. I'll be adding the dropper wires to the track, and we'll be gluing the track down and the points in position so that this side is complete, and then I'll be turning the baseboards over separately and then reconnecting all the dropper wires together and adding the point motors. So that's the progress that I aim to make. The second feature that I've done, I recently bought myself some HUNT couplings, the Elite version, and I've fitted them to my first HST set, and you can see the difference that it's made to the length of the train already. And what we'll do then is take that onto the club layout and we'll run that round, and you'll get a running session of the HST set round the club layout. So let's get on. So as you can see, we're looking at one of the entry exit points here, and that we've changed it from a single track entry exit into a double track. So two tracks coming in, and then they will have three dedicated lanes for both the up and down lines. So as you can see, I've got the point network in, and the tracks leading into the point network nicely coming across here. This baseboard, which is a separate baseboard, so there's going to have to be some work on that. I'll come back to that in a second. So here we go. You can see that we're now into 6 straight tracks leading all the way down to the other end of the fiddle yard. I might be able to just get that into shot for you here. Yeah, you can just see that now in the corner, just there. So almost exactly the same design, apart from the number 6 track. As you can see in the top in the right hand side of your screen, has to come into track 5 for the reasons that I've explained in the previous videos. So yeah, there we go. So that's what the fiddle yard is now looking like. So basically a lot of changes to the ends in the entry exits. So I haven't glued the track down, I've not added electrical dropper wires, I've not done anything underneath with adding the point motors. That's the next step, but I've just made sure that all the track is measured exactly and the points are in the right position, and now it's a case of going through the steps to put those firmly into place. Now the first job that I need to do here is, this is a baseboard join across this line, and as you'll remember from previous videos, that I had a lot of problems in these Model Tech rail aligners in getting them right. So it was a learning process, but I've learned from that and I'm going to do it differently. So there's only track number 1 and track number 6 which has got a slight angle to it, but the angle isn't as sharp as it was before, so that should make it easier for putting these rail aligners in. These are loosely fitted, so I've had to go at the first one. I'm regenerating these aligners from what I used previously. They need a bit more cleaning up, and I'm going to do that next, and then I'm going to fit them across. So I haven't cut this track at all, so I think that's the best way of doing it, is to leave the track whole, cut the 6 pieces of sleepers out, and then position the rail aligners underneath, and then solder them in whilst they're in that position, making sure that they stay straight. And then once they're all soldered down and in position, then I will cut the track. So I could cut the track with a Dremel, but I think it leaves the gap too wide, so I'm just going to use my trusty track cutters and nip them, which should make the gap smaller. So that's what I'm going to do now. First step is to clean all the rail aligners up, and secondly then trim the sleepers off, and then thirdly look to solder the rail aligners on. Just a quick timestamp to the video. We've just moved into August, so it's the 1st of August today, Friday, and the year is moving on fast. Lovely shot here of a gauge 1 actually, called Comb Down. Looks like a garden railway. So I'm just cleaning up these rail aligners that I took off in the re-engineering of the Fiddle yard. So we've got some Copydex on these, and also the underlay that's got pulled up. If you remember, what I did was that I applied far too much heat trying to solder the rails onto these, and it obviously melted the foam underlay away. Somebody said on one of my recent videos that these holes, there's Luna the dog barking away, unusual. These holes were for putting the connecting wires in, but they're not. Now apparently the dog was barking at a delivery man that had just arrived, and I think that is hopefully my second replacement. It's the third locomotive I've received of the new Class 60 from Cavalex, which is a limited special edition from Rails of Sheffield. It's named Isambard Kingdom Brunel, and it's in the green GWR livery. So I'll do a separate video of that to show you what that looks like. But I'm excited about it, and I have been a couple of times, but as soon as I've opened the box I've noticed that I had a problem with, I found the driver's cab steps loose in the bottom of the box, which was disappointing. That was on two sides, and I suppose I could have sent it back, and I suppose I could have fixed it myself and glued them in, but I thought, no, it's a brand new model. These models are not cheap, you know, they need to be right when they arrive. So I sent it back, and then this week I got the replacement, and so I opened it up, excited again, and I thought, oh no, it looks good. And then when I looked at the model more closely, I found that there was no steps on one end, just on one side of one end. And I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh, where are the steps? But there was no steps in the box. So it obviously left the factory with a set of steps missing on one side. So I got back in touch with Rails of Sheffield and obviously complained. It's frustrating that this is the second time. And they were very helpful. They responded very quickly and asked me to box it up and send it back to them, which I said was, you know, hugely inconvenient. Once I can kind of accept begrudgingly, but twice I can't accept. So and I said, you know, I'm again going to be without the locomotive for until the new one arrives. So I said, why can't you just dispatch the replacement straight away? Anyway, they said that wasn't their policy. However, given that I've had a couple of problems, they will dispatch it to me when they've got proof that I've posted the other one back, when on their system it shows that it's now on its way. So I did that late Wednesday afternoon, and the message to say, yeah, we've got confirmation, so yours is on the dispatch, it'll go tomorrow, which was yesterday, and I think that's what's just arrived, so fingers crossed. So let's do, I've taken the underlaying glue off that. What I'm going to do now is just see if I can clean the I'm going to clean the soldering up here. What I'm going to do, I'm just re-spreading the old solder, because it was a bit lumpy. So I spread that all the way across. I'll try and even that out. Because then it makes it easier for aligning the rails. So I've cleaned up these rail aligners as best I can. Some of them are a bit more grotty than others, with the purpose of trying to reuse them. So obviously the solder that was on there was a little lumpy, and my approach has been to melt the solder that was already on there and then spread it out thinly as much as I can do across the metal parts of the rail aligner. I don't know how you get, is there a way of getting solder up, molten solder off and cleaning them off completely? If there is, then please let me know how you can do that, because it just seems to stick every time I try to scrape it away. It just seems to stick onto the rail aligner, so I can't seem to scrape it off. And then obviously you need about 3-4 pair of hands to put the heat on, hold the rail aligner down, and then be able to scrape it off. So if any of you have got a technique to be able to get molten solder off to make them completely clean, that would be really helpful to know. So I've now prepared for the dropper wires. So as you can see here, I've now drilled all the holes where I now need to take the track off, solder the wires to the track, the dropper wires, so I'll get all that preparation done, and then when that's in place, then I'll be in position to glue the track down.
19th county, if you will. England doesn't like having players around the environment, and that's another reason why I think Bethel has stayed rather than going back to Warwick.
Is he good at golf?
Yeah, very good. He's a very good golfer. Yeah,
Very cheeky question.
No, I saw him.
I can't imagine what you mean, Greg.
No, I'm joking. No, I saw him battle.
Okay, so this track is now firmly glued into place. The dropper wires are all added, as you can see, and the track has been cut exactly to the right kind of size. I think I know I've taken my time with this actually when in redoing and re-engineering it, and the benefit of that is that I think I've probably done a better job on trying to get this right. And I've done a better job with these rail aligners here, as you can see, although I did have quite a lot of problems with the one at the top here, which is it came loose. But what I did was I joined them all on the rail before I cut them, so I got them all to the right type of shape of how I want the line to feed into the point, and then I soldered it offline and then brought it back to the baseboard and then glued it into place, and then finally cut the rails. But I used a track cutter rather than a Dremel, because my Dremel disc is a little bit too thick and therefore it creates a biggish gap, and I thought this time I'll have a go at the have a go at using a track cutter, and it's a lot better so the gap isn't as big. But on the top one, when I cut the track, one side of the line pinged off, and so I had to do a bit more work. And of course, once you start applying the soldering iron to try and get the rail back into position, you're applying a lot more heat than I really wanted to do, and then that starts to kind of melt and soften the baseboard material, the underlay, and then that creates a problem, which you can see I've actually just put some cocktail sticks underneath to bring it back up to the level that I need it to be. So yeah, a bit of improvisation. Obviously this fiddle yard isn't going to be on display, it's going to be hidden behind here, and so therefore the aesthetics of what I've done here isn't so important, because you won't be able to see it, because there'll be a back scene just covering it up. So yeah, all glued down, dropper wires in place, and ready for the next job, which is just below the baseboard here, and that's looking at electrically connecting all these wires back into position. But I think that's probably a job for tomorrow, because I'm just making sure that the last pieces of track down here are dry. So we'll just turn the board over now, take the clamps off that have been holding it in place, and the board should just slide away from the rail aligners, and it does. A bit of glue, just a little bit further, there we go, and a few bits and pieces dropping off. Turn that round. Quick check underneath. Yeah. So there we go, there's the all the cabling work that I need to get on with and the points, so I just need to tidy all this up, and I won't take you through that. I'll let you, I'm sure you would rather die a slow death than watch me mess around with all these. I think I've shown you how I've done that before in previous videos, so I'll just get on and show you the finished article, and that will be on the next video. So this is the East Coast HST set, and this is a 9-car rake, which is prototypical of this franchise in that era. And so I've just popped it on the fiddle yard track, and you can see if I push the power car back and all the coaches together, then it comes to around 324 centimeters. But if I now start to pull it out, and before the DVT now has just started to move, 330. And I think most modelers would say that in their scale length calculators, 330 centimeters is about the right length for you to be thinking about in terms of if you want a full rake and you want to put it in a fiddle yard, or you want a station platform. So 330, and let's look at the gap between each coach. It's not exact, but that's about 10 millimeters, 1 centimeter. So that's 4 millimeter to the foot. So that's 2.5 feet. So that's about 30 inches in real terms gap between the coaches. So what I'm going to do, and that's obviously that's the traditional NEM tension couplings that I've got on here. So what I'm going to do now is replace all those couplings with these new HUNT couplings that I bought, and let's see what difference it makes to the scale length of the train and the gap between the coaches. So I attended the Settle Model Railway Festival recently, which was a brilliant event. Again, well done to DCC Concepts for putting that show on. It was free of charge, and you don't get many rail exhibitions that model rail exhibitions that are free of charge, so fantastic and well done to them. One of the vendors that was exhibiting was West Hill Wagon Works, so I had a look, and I've been thinking about these HST couplings, which are supposed to make your rakes much more realistic and prototypical with the gaps that are between the coaches, or the coaches to the power car. So I bought myself a couple of sets, and I'm going to try out and see if they work. So here they are out of the packet, and the good thing is they're not on sprues. They are literally just magnets all together, magnetized together, so you can see them sat there. So this is the set for the power cars. So I'm going to fit these together. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so the HUNT couplings are now fitted to this HST set, and as you can see, pushed back as close together as possible. This length is 323. Now if I pull to take up any play, it's there. So I've just pulled the whole train. I can see looking at the other end, so literally I've probably pulled it a little bit far, but it's about 325 centimetre scale length, where with the NEM tension couplings it was 330, so it's taken 5 centimetres off, so that's 50 millimetres, and it's 4 millimetres to the foot. So obviously it's taken around just over 12 and a half feet of scale length off the train. So yeah, it looks more realistic. Let's have a look at the gap between the coaches. So that's the gap now. Excuse the noise from the gardeners in the opposing neighbours' gardens with their power tools. These things happen this time of year. So these are these are the HUNT couplings. You can see there isn't much play between them as I move them slowly, and that gap is around 4 centimetres. Sorry, 4 millimetres. So that's 4 millimetres to the foot. So there's a foot. So probably much more realistic. Be interested to see what you think. So here's the new fiddle yard. Sorry, the re-engineered fiddle yard. And as you can see, we've got 3 lanes per track direction. We've got the up line and the down line, and there's three tracks for each one. And by doing that, I've been able to extend the lengths of the fiddle yard a little bit, and that's given me a much more space to get things like this 9-car HST set in. So no problems in terms of where the set comes up to, and it potentially buttering up to any points and trains coming across those points. So I'm pleased with that. I'll show you the other end. So here's the other end, and as you can see, there's plenty of space before we hit the point network to store these 9-car HST sets. And just looking down the other end makes it look quite long, but obviously at 3.25 meters then it is. But I'm pleased with re-engineering of this fiddle yard. Rather than a single track entry, we've now got the double track entry and dedicated lines for up and down. So obviously I can't run this HST rounder a loop roundy, but it is running night tonight at the Model Railway Club that I go to. So what I'm going to do now is box this up, take it to the Model Railway Society tonight and run it round the track there, and let's see how these HUNT couplings perform.
just one through. It's got lights as well.
Long one.
To go down to a low on 47. Yeah. Well, we've been doing it a long time, you know. Cattle You know how to change the points, do you? Stop that, and then change the points. They're either on.
I'm just running a previously owned Class 37 that I bought a couple of months ago, actually, just giving it a test run on the rolling road, which I also bought a couple of weeks ago. Fantastic piece of kit, actually, so really pleased with the rolling road. Let's see how the Class 37 gets on. Seems to be having some sound issues. There we go, turn the sound off. So yeah, so that's the video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. So I'm making some progress with regard to the channel, and we're now getting towards the end of summer into towards the autumn, and that's hopefully going to give me and allow me a lot more time here up in the loft to really crack on with regard to building this model railway, and that's going to mean further opportunities for a lot more content. I've been really grateful for all the help and support and the comments that I've received from subscribers today, but I'm going to be increasing the frequency of my videos over the next few weeks and months, and I'm giving everybody an opportunity to get some exclusivity really of some of that content by the way of memberships. And so I've set up 3 levels of membership on the YouTube channel, starting with Shunter Heroes, then into Branch Line Warriors, and then into Intercity Kings. So and those memberships start off at £1.99, £2.99 and then £4.99 for the Intercity Kings. And for that you'll get lots of exclusive content, you'll get lots of bonus features, and if you're interested in seeing some of that and my progress as I go, I'll share with you some real kind of exclusive insights and backstories to the progress that I'm making. However, if you're not interested in that, then don't worry, there'll be lots of other content for free, and so the plan is to produce a video for everyone every 2 weeks, and in between time I aim to be able to produce a video for members that are interested in between time. Lots of other free content in terms of YouTube shorts coming up over the next few weeks and months, as well as so if you're interested in looking at that on your mobile phone, then do have a look at that and look out for those. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing's for free. You don't have to pay for anything if you're a new watcher of my channel. So yeah, please do subscribe. It'll be great. And there's some videos that'll be popping up for you now, give you an opportunity to see some other videos that you may not have seen. So thanks for watching this one, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.